Okay, got it. Okay, so people, I think, who have any queries related to the um, course, you can ask me once the class is over, right? As I told you yesterday, initial few things, few minutes, we will discuss about the content, and then later in this, like once I have done with explaining the things, you can ask if you have any questions related to the course, right? Okay. So in the last class, we discussed about pandas. So we'll continue the same. And one more, voice is not audible. Can you hear my, no, voice is not audible. Give me 1 minute.
For me, your voice is working, ma'am.
It's working.
Okay. Yeah. Fine. It's clear, right? Or I need, is it not clear? My voice is clear. Like
Clear.
you.
It's
Yeah.
clear, no issues.
No issues. Okay, great. Okay, so yesterday we discussed about three major, like, sorry, yesterday we started with pandas, and pandas has two things in it, right? One is your data frame and one is your, uh, give me 1 minute. So when you deal with structured and semi-structured data, any kind of structured and semi-structured data like CSV, Excel, JSON or something, you can handle all of the operations like data manipulation you can do using pandas. It's a very, very, very famous library for data analysis, right? So it provides two things. Panda provides two things. One is data frame and one is your series. So data frame, how to create a data frame? So creating a data frame, you have two options. The first one is from any existing, sorry, from any file if you want to read, then you just can use the read underscore method and pass the file name. It will read the file, right? And if you really want to, so we will be exploring, yesterday we have discussed this, so we will be exploring some more functions and some operations today. What is the takeaway for today's class? We'll be discussing how to write, after manipulating the data frame, how to write it back. Also, we will discuss other methods to create data frame, and then we will see some operations that we can do on data frame. So what I'm going to do is maybe some other CSV file that has some information. So .csv, some other CSV file I will be uploading. Let's say I have, okay. Let me see what is same thing. Okay. I need to download something because this is a new system and I think, um, I mean, nothing is there. No data is present, which is good, right? Okay. So I think this looks a good data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download this and also maybe this. Okay, fine. So what I need to do is just, I need to change the path. As I already told you yesterday, I just downloaded two files. The first one is CO2 and copy of admission predict. So let's do one thing. So I just want to read this, copy the path and you just need to paste it. That's it. And I told you about Unicode error. If you are Windows user, you will find Unicode error. How to avoid this Unicode error? You just need to write R before your path. Mac and Mac and Linux user, you can directly just copy and paste the path. But Windows user, after you paste the path, you need to write R. Okay, so let's see how the data looks, right? So if I just look at this data, this is how the data looks. We have a lot of columns, almost 400 rows and 9 columns. So we have serial number, GRE score, TOEFL score, university rating. So all kind of numerical data, SOP, LOR, CGPA, research, and chance of admission. So this is a data which has some columns and some rows. Every column has some value and so on, right? When I just look at this DF and if I just write DF, the whole data frame is listed. If I just want to print a few lines, not the whole data frame, what function I need to use? I need to use df.head method. When I call this df.head method, it will just print the first 5 lines. If I just need the first 2 lines, I will write head of 2. So it will print the first 2 lines. If I write head of 4 or head of 5, the first 5 lines. So head of whatever number I'm writing, those many rows only will be printed. So once you have loaded your data into data frame, this head method is really helpful to display your data, right? How many rows you want to display? From the starting, those many rows you can show using this head method, right? We have already discussed yesterday info method, which will give you the complete information about the data. We are going to discuss one more major method today called describe function. See how beautiful pandas is, right? Just I will write one simple function called describe and it will give me the complete statistical summary of all. See, you can see for every column, I have 9 columns. And for every column in one go, I'm getting count, I'm getting average, standard deviation, mean, 25%, 50%, 75% maximum, all the statistical values. And if you don't know many of these things, like let's say what is 75, what is 25%, what is standard deviation and all, don't worry, we will discuss all of these things in statistics class. But what you need to remember is describe method in one go. If you have 10, 20, 30, 100,000, 20,000, 50,000, doesn't matter how many numerical columns, just for every column you can see the describe method will return you just a simple function, but it will return you the complete summary statistics. If you want to see what is the average GRE score, 316, what is the standard deviation, 11, what is the minimum score, 290, what is the maximum score, 340, what is the median score, 317. So every information about every column, just by calling a function, you can get, right? So these are like very important methods. And I told you yesterday, while loading your data, this read, you can also explore many other parameters. For example, let's say this admission predict is a huge data. Let's say it's a petabytes of information. And my machine has only 16 GB. Obviously, I cannot load this huge data on my data frame. But still, I want to just get a sample of my data so that I can try out things, right? So for that, there's a beautiful parameter called n rows we discussed yesterday. So it's number of rows you want to load, right? What is n rows? N rows is number of rows you want to load. Let's say I just want to load, let's say 50, right? N rows equals to 50. So what it will do? Only the initial 50, like 1 to 50 row, only the first 50 row will be loaded. So you can see this is a new data frame and initially it has 400 records, but now it has only 50 records. So this is how you can create sample, and this is important, right? Let's say you want to process something, you want to try out things, and your data that the client has given is 80 GB or 20 GB or 30 GB, huge data. Your machine is just 16 GB. So you cannot obviously load only, leave about processing. So what you can do is you can just set a limit. So initial n number of rows you can load, and that's where you can control at least some sample data you will get, and on which you can try some manipulation, right? So this is n rows. Similarly, if you want to, there is one more situation. Sometimes when you look at the CSV file, data is not present from row number 1. Let's say data is present in row number 4 or 5. Initial few rows are like something, let's say date and then time and some other information. You have seen such cases, right? When you open the file, from the row number 0, data is not present. Data is present from row number 4. 1, 2, 3 is general information, the username, the time of execution, something like this. So you don't want to read the CSV or Excel file from starting. Rather, you just want to read, skipping some rows. And that's where the next parameter will help you, that is skip rows. So end rows and skip rows is different. So what skip rows will do, skip rows will, same thing you can do with footer from the last. If you see in the footer, it's not like the last row. There are some information which you don't need. You can write skip footer. So skip rows, I will write, let's say 3, or maybe I will write just 2. So what it will do is the first row in my data is this headings, and the second row is the highlighted one, right? So when I say skip rows equals to 2, the initial 2 rows will be skipped, and the data will be started with the third row, that is 1. This is right. So serial number 2 and GRE score and everything. So if I just read this data again, you can see, right, the initial 2 rows are skipped. And from serial number 3, it is loading. Serial number 2, it is taking as header. Now you don't want this as a header because you know this is a data, this is not a header. Can anybody remember yesterday I told you which parameter controls the header information? The name is header only. So there is one more parameter called header. Default is like it will take the first row as header, but you don't want the first row to be header here. So you will just write none. N capital or small? I think it is capital. No, spelling error. Let's take help, right? I think this is, yeah, no commas. So what is the benefit of this? Now you can see it is default indexing and the row is starting from index number 2. Why? Because you have skipped the initial 2. And so on and so forth. Like lot of things are there inside read method. You can keep exploring the things. Other important parameter is there, like parse dates. I think it's important when you know in your data you have dates. So the problem with dates is not standard. It's not in a standard format. Some of the dates, day will be first, month, and then year. Month can be first, day, year. Year can be YY or YY format. So it can be a lot of, I mean, when you just look at the day column or date column, it can be in a different format. So what we do is we write this. We write this parameter called parse dates, and I just will write true. So if you make it true, what it will do is, if your data, in my data, there is no date, but in case any date column is there, it will, it will convert that date into pandas date time format. Like in SQL, you have a format, right? Date format. Similarly, here also in pandas, it has its own date time format. So it will convert into date. If you just write parse dates equals to true, so what it will do is all the dates present in your data will be converted to pandas date time format. So we'll discuss about dates separately. So I'm just keeping as of now because we have a separate section for dates. Okay. So far, any doubt? Is it clear? So we understood read method, we understood info method, we understood describe method, head method, right? Okay. You have done some analysis, you have done some manipulation, you have added some rows, deleted some other rows, you have renamed something, you have group by, you have done merge, joining, concatenation, you have done a lot of analysis. And then finally, what you want is this data frame, you want to write it back. One is reading and one is writing. Once your analysis is done, you want to write it back to some file or to some table so that the client can access the results. And that you can do using to underscore method. They said this data frame, I want to write it back. So there's a to underscore method. And again, it allows you different extension it has, like you can write it to CSV, you can write it to dictionary, Excel, Hadoop, HTML, JSON, NumPy, ORC, Parquet, Pickle, SQL, timestamp, right? XML. So it allows you to write in different formats. Let me write it to CSV. And then you just pass the path. Exactly same thing wherever you want to store. So I just want to store maybe here. So I'll copy the path and you paste it. Make sure you're giving a name to your file, right? So with what name I want to save this data frame, I just want to save it with test, test.csv. This is admission data, so test admission.csv. If I just run this, you can see, again, there is, I think, 2 times comma. So yeah, if I execute this particular line, you can see in my downloads, you can see this test admission has been created, which has the same data. If you open, you will find the same records, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, and all that. Okay, so what you understood so far is you can read any file into data frame, you can do all the analysis, and you can write that data frame back to any file, right? So this is one way of creating data frames. So we are in this section where we are understanding how to create data frames. I think the first method is clear, how to create data frame using read and read method. Is it clear? Any doubt? I'll pause it for some time. Is it clear? Any question?
What is the use of data frame? Is it used for use the data or anything else?
Sorry, can you please come again?
What is the use of data frame? If it's used for leave the data or we can update the data or anything else?
Okay, so what is the use of data frame? So same use like what you are doing with SQL and Excel, right? You can consider data frame similar to that, but the benefit is it is more advanced. Um,
We
Obviously,
can update the data also.
based on
We can update the data.
upgrade the data.
Update.
Update, yes. So you can update the data, correct. So like what you are doing with SQL and Excel, right? You can group by, you will understand slowly when we discuss some more operations and functions, but at high level data frames or series, the pandas framework will help you to analyze or manipulate your semi-structured and structured data. So any kind of Excel, CSV, or like SQL table or anything, you can load it. You can select columns, you can filter, you can group by, pivot table, all of these operations you can do on your data, right? So, and when you build models, it's not like from day one, the data is so clean and all that, and you can start building models, right? So the second step is data collection and data cleaning. Pandas is heavily used in first and second step of data science project life cycle. So first step is data collection and the second step is data cleaning. Sometimes your data will have missing values. So using pandas, you can handle missing values, right? Okay, a lot of things are there and we will discuss pandas slowly one by one. So once you understood input from any existing file, let us understand how to create data frame, not from file, let's say from any other data structure. Just one more thing, I think yesterday I have updated institute. I think the drive I did not receive, but I think it will be done by today half morning, right? First half. Once the drive is created, I will upload everything on the drive because you need the materials. Already pandas has been started. And this is the material for pandas. I'm just teaching. This is the class practice note. But if you really want to know what will be covered, let me download and show you, right? Okay, overall picture is this. So we are going to discuss merge join concatenation, which is a uh, separate, but this is what we are going to discuss. Right? Just one second. Let me up. This is your final note. I'm going to upload this on the drive. So I'm just, whatever we are discussing, this is the class practice note, but this is the final note. We have all of these sections to be completed in pandas. I think visualization, you can skip anyway, we have plotly, but rest all topics we will cover in this week, right? So we have creating data frames, we are here. So after that, reading, writing, same thing, 1 and 2. Then we have some useful pandas function, appending, concatenating, sorting, subsetting, null values, right? Basically treating missing values, adding columns, deleting columns, summary statistics, aggregation or group by, dropping duplicate names, counting, grouping, pivot table. So all of these operations we will discuss. And this is the code complete tutorial. I think I will upload this and the related data set also I will upload. So you can practice. I will upload both class practice and also the fair note. Any section you want to know more, you just click on that. Let's say you want to know more about sorting, click on that and you will come to that particular part. So it is very nicely explained, the syntax, the parameters with some examples. Okay, so I think you got an idea what we are going to do in this few days. And one more thing, people who has not enrolled, I think you should enroll as soon as possible because you complete the same thing, whatever has been covered in the class, same topic, you try to complete from your side also. Otherwise, when we start, pandas is still okay, like it's okay. But when we start complex topics, if you have any pending work, because we have everyday class, if you don't revise for 5 to 7 days, it will be a lot of things, right? And the advantage of revising with me is if you have any doubt, immediately you can ask in the next class, right? But if you revise after 1 month or 2 months, what is the purpose of joining, right? Anyway, you have joined because you can interact with the instructor and ask your questions directly. That's the benefit of live class. So if you are not able to do that, then it's a wastage. So better is like you have to give some time from your side also. Just listening will not help. You have to download the data set, you have to download the code file, you need to execute every day, you need to do the assignment. I'll be uploading some assignment. You can see we have assignment for pandas. I think tomorrow I will upload the first assignment. Assignments are better way of practice because it has questions. Every topic that I will cover, I will give a data set and I will have 10 to 15 questions and you need to solve those using pandas. Every chapter we have assignments. And I think you need to enroll as soon as possible. Anyway, I think from this Friday onwards, the link is changing. Monday onwards, I think you will get your final link. So that is the final link, right? Every day you can join with the same link. But yes, so I think it is for your benefit. You should enroll as soon as possible. You can take a call if you want to continue better. If you don't want to continue, pause, and later you want to decide, then that also it's good. But you can decide faster. So it should not be um like, I mean, what I'm trying to tell you is if you don't understand the concepts, you will not able to do the assignments. And every day we will complete some topic. All the topics are new, and for the first time you're learning, so you also need some time to grasp the things, right? And if you read, then only you will have some doubts, and you can ask me all your doubts in the next class. We have WhatsApp group also. You can post your queries there. If not me, your friends can also answer, right? Anyway, so I think this is where we are just one by one reading, writing, CSVs. Now if you just click on this, you can understand everything whatever we have discussed so far. Fine. So we are going to discuss one more method for creating data frames, that is data frame function, right? What is this data frame function will do? If you have any existing data structure and if you want to read, this data frame function will help you. I have a list, let's say list. I have a list and don't worry if you don't know what is a list. List is a data structure in Python. So I have elements, let's say 67, 89, 54, and then I have 87, 48, and 56. Let's say this is my list. What I want is, I just want to convert this list into a data frame. It may be a list, it may be a tuple, it may be a dictionary, it may be a set, it may be anything. So when you have any existing data structure which you want to convert into a data frame, so what you can do is you can just write pd dot data frame function, pd dot data frame function, and then you just pass the name. For me it is the name of the list. You can pass the name of the dictionary you want to convert. You pass name of the tuple, dictionary, set, any existing data structure. Remember, I'm not using read method because I'm not reading any file. If you want to read any file and convert it into a data frame, then read method will be helpful. But any existing data structure, you want to read any existing data structure into a data frame, then you will be using data frame function, pd.dataframe, D capital, F capital. And this is what it is. So list has been converted to data frame. So I will just name it, list df1. So this is what is my data frame. Now you can see I have 0, 1, 2, and 0, 1. So rows and columns are not named properly, right? Like it is basically, you can see it is default. I just want to, the beauty of pandas is it allows the user to add uh, names to columns and rows, and that you can do using index parameter. Index will set the name for your rows. Let's say I have 2 rows, I want to set the name. Let's say it's a student and marks. The first one is student 1 and the second row is student 2. If I just execute, you can see the default indexing has been changed to student 1 and student 2 because I have renamed my rows, which was default, to S1 and S2. What is your columns? Columns, let's say these are the marks. So there is another parameter called columns, and you can set the name of your columns. Let's say these are the maths. The first subject is, let's say, maths. The second column is for Hindi, and for the third column, it is, let's say, English. If I just run this, you can see the name of the columns are also changed. So this is how you can read any existing data structure into a data frame. NumPy array, list, tuple, set, dictionary, anything can be converted to pandas data frame. So in this way, we have completed the first two section. That is, if you go to the note, creating data frames. So we can create the data frame. Let's say this is a dictionary. I will just pass the name of the dictionary and I will get my data frame. You can create your data frame from existing files, right? Let's say you have CSV files, you to read, you need to write read underscore, and you can read your data. Okay. So this is how you can create data frames. The first section is completed, creating data frames. Any questions so far? Is it all good? Clear? Okay. Yeah, so this is runtime only. Everything is saved in your memory. So it is runtime. So when you're loading, first you need to import and then you need to read. So it is whole data, it is loading into DF. And if you just, let's say, did nothing and just went to sleep, and next day when you try to rerun, it will not work. Jupyter will not save your data for longer time in the memory, right? So it will, you need to rerun the code again. So again, you need to import and then you need to load again, so that again it will bring it to memory. But anyway, so I think this is all about your creating data frames. I think more on this we will discuss tomorrow. What is the takeaway for tomorrow? We will discuss the second part. Once we understood how to create data frame, we will discuss some useful function and we will see selection. Selection means how to select columns, rows, subset, and all of that from your data frame. Okay, I'll pause here. I think from here we will continue tomorrow. Any question related to the course that you want to ask? Others you can drop. Tomorrow you can join if you have no questions. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very related to the course content. So right now we can understand like with the AI.
Sorry,
So
Ashish, your voice is like very low and breaking.
is it now better?
Ha, it is little better. Yeah.
I will understand the
Sorry, I'm not still able to hear.
Is it better now?
Ha,
Or
it
still
is.
now?
Yeah.
Okay, so my question is just want to understand the content because I could see I just want to understand like what are the topics we are going to cover as part of this course. So as per you mentioned like in Drive you are sharing those, but I could not see.
Yeah. I told you to upload the content in the folder, right? And yeah, so I'm really sorry. So the content is ready. Only thing is the project part. That I think this folder I have given access to everyone. So I think in the demo and content, the content demo recording, anyway, it is already present. Demo is already there in YouTube, but still I will upload. But content is very important and you're waiting for the content. So let me do one thing. So the content is clear. Only thing is the project, the 3 to 4, 5 projects. So that also I know what I need to deliver, but writing those projects, I'm little like kind of not getting time. But anyway, I will be doing it. Sorry for the delay so far. You're waiting since so long for the content. The content is already there, only the project information. So you, okay, let me tell you the content. Content means the topics that we will cover, right? And with the content, there is another two files you will see in the folder. One is the content. Content means topics, and one is the projects. So project also, which kind of projects we are going to handle and what is the project flow. Everything is listed in that project file, right? So the content starts with Python, obviously, as I told you in the previous demo sessions. And it starts with core Python, which is a kind of self-learning. Um, and I think most of you already know. Core Python means what I'm expecting you to learn in core Python is this topics, like what is a variable, and then what is function, right? And then what is your uh, loops, like if, else, while, and for loop, followed by data structure. Data structure means what is your list, what is your tuple, list, tuple, set, dictionary, and string. So this is what I'm expecting you to learn. And now you can ask me from where to learn. There are a lot of YouTube tutorials for Python core topics. I think ChatGPT also can teach you a lot of things related to core Python. And if you really want to complete it in a nice and to the point way, you take my recordings, and this will be uploaded on the drive once the drive is created. And maybe today, if the drive is, it will be created for sure. I did not get time. Otherwise, if I just call them once, they will create immediately. So I will make sure the drive is created. And once the drive is created, you take my recording and complete this. In fact, you also will get Durga sir's recording, which has everything, not only core Python. Durga sir's recording has everything: core Python, advanced Python, file handling, exception handling. Every topic is present. It is 175 hours of recording. So take Durga sir's recording, and at least for this part, you learn. That is what is the first step. The second is pandas, which after this core Python, the syllabus starts with pandas. And that is what we are learning now. And you have already seen what I'm not going to write the topics in pandas. You have already seen what we're going to cover in pandas. There are a lot of things like creating data frame, sorting, filtering, group by, and pivot table, merge, join, concatenation, lot of topics we will look at in pandas. Once we have completed pandas, we will be moving to another very important library called Plotly. Again, I'm not writing the content inside Plotly, but actually in Plotly, we will be discussing about 10 to 12 different kind of charts, like line chart, area chart, pie chart, bar chart, sunburst chart. Every chart, what is the objective of that chart, whether it is univariate, bivariate. If you want to understand relationship between two columns, which chart? You want to understand distribution, which chart? How to create the chart? How to customize the chart? All are completely open source. How to create interactive charts. That's what you will learn in the third chapter. And then we will learn one more library called Streamlit. Why we are learning Streamlit? Because it is an ops course, and later many of you will go for Gen AI course. Doesn't matter what application you are building, whether it is generative AI or machine learning or any kind of visualization dashboard, you always need a front end. And this is the tool which is meant for a data scientist. You no need to learn any HTML, CSS, nothing. Within very less time, you can build nice looking websites. And it is supported by almost everything. So, I mean, it's very popular kind of package, right? So it will help us to build front end. So again, we will learn Streamlit in detail way. End of this code, like Streamlit course, you will be able to create your own websites, and you can host it also. Completely functional websites you can build front end. Having said that, it's not like web development course. So we are just going to focus one library, and one that library will help us to build anything. Front end part we can quickly build. Fine. So every module has assignments, every module has questions along with the theory part and implementation side. You have to practice. So these are the prerequisite. And with this, we also, okay, once we have completed this, in the module 1, I'm going to share one is my recording you will get, that is core Python. I'm also going to give you some bonus recording from the previous batch for module 1. And in the bonus recording, what you will get? You will get the recording for Matplotlib and Seaborn. What is Matplotlib and Seaborn? These are other packages like Plotly. We are going to use Plotly, which is the recent trend going on. It's completely interactive, but somebody, if they wants to learn other libraries of Python for data visualization, Matplotlib and Seaborn, completely in detail, complete tutorial you will get, or around 5 to 6 hours of video for Matplotlib and Seaborn as a bonus lecture. And then also you're going to get something called Dash, which I was teaching previous to previous batch. I have changed the content in your batch and in your previous batch, but the batches which has been completed January, February this year, I think in their syllabus, Dash was included instead of Streamlit. Why I have changed? It's not like, I mean, Dash is a little complicated, but it has its own advantage. Streamlit is simple to understand and quick to create, but I think if you really want to add lot more functionality, really want to make a very complex website, I think Dash is something which you should have some idea. I think Streamlit is great for POCs and for showing your results to someone. In fact, you can build complete websites, but as I said, it is easy and it has some limitations. Overall, Streamlit is 100% better than, I mean, if you are looking user friendliness, I think easy to learn, Streamlit comes first. But if you look at complexity, Dash comes first. With difficult learning, it gives you a lot of flexibility. So you can almost do everything that you can do when you start building a real-time application or website. You can do everything with Dash. And the beauty is you no need to learn JavaScript. The complexity comes with interaction, right? Let's say you have a button. When you click that button, it should connect to the database and pull the data from the database and then do something, blah, blah, blah. So the connection part, the JavaScript is what it will do. But here we are not going to learn JavaScript. It's not a web development course. So using Dash, you can write callbacks. So for interactivity, it is a great app. And again, it's completely a very detailed way explained. In fact, 1 or 2 projects also we have done. So that recording I will share with everyone. If you are really interested, you can go ahead. Otherwise, if you feel like it is difficult, you can skip. Anyway, we are learning Streamlit in this course. Fine. So this is all about your first module: Core Python, Advanced Python, Pandas, Plotly, Streamlit, Matplotlib, Seaborn, and Dash. Right? This is the prerequisite for starting the course. After this, the second module is, or I will say this, the second pillar is obviously statistics. Statistics, before we jump into machine learning, you need to learn a lot about statistics. We will be discussing a lot of topics. I don't want to write the topics names, but G-score, normal distribution, what is, let's say, standard deviation, what is measure of central tendency, what is dispersion, what is variance, what is median, what is outlier, what is box plot, how to remove outliers, what is G-score, everything about all of these topics we will discuss in statistics. Mostly it is data standardization, what is data normalization means, why data scaling is important. All of these things we will learn in statistics. And then the module 3 after statistics, the major module, you can ask me, if you look at the content of other institute or somewhere, you will see in statistics, they have added hypothesis testing, lot of other kind of like p-value, hypothesis, all of this testing and all that, ANOVA method and all that. So I have removed all of these topics. It was there initially, but I have removed. Why? This is obsolete. Like in the era of Gen AI and deep learning, we really don't trust the statistical test much, right? Because of so many reasons. And nobody is using those tests nowadays. I think we have advanced techniques. And what I can tell you is the things which we will learn but not needed by the industry is useless, right? That's the reason the topics has been ignored or removed from the syllabus, because it is not important and you will not get any questions. In my 11 years of experience, hardly I have used those kind of things ever. Maybe 1 or 2 times I have used. But most of the like tests that you will do, like d-test and other things, are, we have better methods for the same thing. That is what I can tell you in one line, right? So whatever is really important has been included in statistics. And then the module 3 is completely on machine learning. And the whole agenda of this course is to teach you machine learning in depth. So what all things you will learn in machine learning? In machine learning, you will learn 6 algorithm. Linear regression is the first one, and then you will learn about logistic regression, linear regression, logistic regression. You will be learning about decision tree, and then you will learn about random forest, XGBoost, decision tree, random forest, and then you will learn about k-means. So all of this algorithm, how you will learn? Every algorithm you will learn with complete math. So whatever math is needed, I will take care of it. So don't worry about it. I will take care. And with this, you will get a bonus recording of one more algorithm called PCA, Principal Component Analysis. It's a 3-hour recording, and you will get complete theory and implementation of PCA. So in total, you are learning 6 different algorithm. And why you are learning? What is the advantage? So once you learn the algorithms, we can do multiple projects on this. So module 3 is all about learning machine learning algorithms and implementing them in small projects. So linear regression, you understand, and project number 1, right? Where you will implement linear regression using scikit-learn. So every algorithm has one project. So I'm not writing project, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5 algorithms will have 5 projects, or basically decision tree, random forest, logistic can be implemented in one project. So in total, you have 3 projects, one for regression, one for classification. Both are from supervised section, and one for k-means, which is unsupervised. So this is what you will learn in module 3. And then module 4 is basically for deep learning, right? And NLP. So in module 4, you will learn TensorFlow framework, and you will also learn ANN algorithm, artificial neural network, followed by NLP. I'm just not writing every topic. We will discuss in detail what is cost function, what is gradient descent algorithm, what is optimization technique, what is feed forward, back propagation, what is epoch, what is batch size, what is GPU, how to write your code in a parallel way, what is TensorFlow, how to build your neural network, what is overfitting, underfitting, everything. And then followed by text data. If you have text data, how to build a project end-to-end using deep learning and text data. How to do text cleaning, what is top words, what is n-grams, everything you will learn in module 4. This is the content. So far, whatever we have discussed is all in ML side. From module 5 onwards, the ops will start. So 4 modules are on ML, and then module 5 onwards, the ops will start. So before jumping into ops, you need to learn ML first. First, you should build something, then only you will deploy that. So after module 4, you can build anything, any machine learning or any deep learning application. Till model validation you can do. So data science project life cycle, we have data collection, data cleaning, model building, and model validation, and then model deployment. 1, 2, 3, 4 can be done using module 1 to 4. In module 5, now we have our code. Let's say we have done one project using logistic decision tree and random forest. We have our model, we have validated our model. Model is ready. Now in module 5, we will learn about advanced Python concept, OOPS concept. So you will learn how to write your code, or how to create a package in Python, how to write your code in a package format. You will also learn how to write your code in a class and kind of modular format, how to organize your code, how to write your code in a module format. So that it automatically, if you write your code in a package module format, class kind of format, not one script, but this all script will be divided into 7 to 8 different scripts. So the thing is, once you have done this in the next project, if it is similar category, you just need to plug and play. 1, 2, 3, 4, like whatever pre-process. Please go on mute, everyone. I will answer your doubts when I have completed explaining. So packaging we will do basically. And here I will teach you advanced Python, how to create package, how to create your own, if you want to contribute to Python, so how you can create your own package, and you can install it, pip install your own package name. Similarly, what is class, how to write your code in class, everything. So basically module 5 is organizing your code. And then we will also learn about GitHub, Git and GitHub. So once we have organized our code, we will understand about Git and GitHub version control. So we'll push our code, final code to GitHub. And then what we need to do is we need to do a lot of things. Once my code is finalized, we need to do a lot of things, like we need to register the first, we need to compare all the models, we need to do hyperparameter tuning. And for the best model, we need to register the model which is best out of all the algorithms. We need to track the model parameters, the model metric, the model accuracy, and we need to reproduce we need to write our code in such a manner that it should run automatically. Let's say we have to execute train.py first, and after that we need to execute deploy.py. So let's say all of these things, how to write in a script which will be automating all the things. And that is something we call it as model reproducibility. We will add requirement.txt, conda.yml. So all of these things, how to do everything, like how to make our code more automated. So all of these things, I'm just writing model registry, model tracking, and project, all of this ML. We will be using ML flow for doing this. So ML flow has 4 different sections. Every section of ML flow in detail we will explain. We will discuss. And after this, my code is completely automated. Everything is set. Model is saved in pickle format. Requirement.txt has been generated. Environment is generated. Everything is there. Like a project file will have all the sequence in which I want to execute my code. And I have registered all the versions of my model. If I want to backtrack to the later versions, I can do that. I have staging, production, archive. Everything is set. Now, finally, what I need to do is I need to Dockerize. I need to create a Docker container. So module 7 is something called Docker. So you will be learning about Docker. So how to Dockerize your final version. Once you have done that, module 8 is on AWS. So you'll be creating AWS account, and you will be basically setting up all of these things. You need to create S3 account. All of these things we need to do. Code commit. We need to push our code from GitHub to code commit. You need to create SageMaker instances, notebook instances. All your code you will push from local to AWS. And once you have done everything, we will be creating endpoints using SageMaker. So basically module 8 is all about deploy, right, on AWS. So this is the flow of the entire course. This is the content. And I think for one project, I will show you the AWS part because it is not free. Every time I show you, some money I have to spend. So the process is exactly same. And once you have seen it for one project, similarly for all other projects, same code will work. So till module 7, we will repeat for all the 3 projects or 4 projects. But module 8, I will show you only for one project. And similar way, you have to do it for other projects. And that's the reason we are going to repeat multiple times. And yeah, so we will learn GitHub action here for CI/CD pipeline. So GitHub action will be included here for CI/CD pipeline. So everything module 4 onwards, module 5, 6, 7, and 8 is on deployment. So total 8 modules, 50-50 weightage. 4 module will teach you about ML, and 4 module will teach you about ops. You can ask me a lot of questions why I have not included Kubernetes, why I have not included Jenkins. Yeah, there are multiple options, but I feel this is a complete set. I think you really don't need anything more than this. It will automate your entire flow. In module 4, we will also discuss the architecture, like how you need to organize your folder structure, right? That also is standard. So once you have done it for any other project, you can simply copy paste the same folder structure. I think you got an overall idea. So this is what you will find in the content. Only thing is in the content, every topic elaboratively, that what we are going to cover will be explained. That's it. And this is what is the flow. I think you are good. So what all tools we're going to learn in this course? We're going to learn ML flow. We're going to learn SageMaker. We're going to learn GitHub Action. We are going to learn Docker from the ops side. And from the ML side, obviously, we're going to learn Pandas, Plotly, Streamlit, machine learning algorithms, implementation, validation, model validation, right? Feature selection, all of this. Okay, so drive access link. I will again share this folder link. Please, I'm just sharing. People who joined newly today, I'm just sharing the link, right? I hope this is clear to everyone. Any doubt in this? And from here, I think we have another. So with this, I think two things you can ask, which is not included, but with additional cost, you can take it. One is Spark recording, and with a very minimal cost, you can take this. So one is Spark recording. So Azure Databricks, complete Azure Databricks Spark, complete recording, almost 20 hours recording. I was taking big data classes this year, January, February, right? December, January batch, you can take that recording, and which will clarify all your things related to big data. The second thing is you can also take the GenAI recording of the current ongoing batch if you don't want to attend live. There is not much difference in recording versus the live class. The live class is 27 and the recording is, with recording, it is 25. And but yes, the advantage of recording is if you really want to complete it really quick, you don't have to wait. And live classes, you need to wait, right? Like now the batch is going on, July, the new batches will start, and again it will go for some 1 month, 1.5 months, let's say August, mid or September, right? But here you will get it immediately. And anyway, we are connecting most of the day. So I think if you take the recording, if you have quick doubts, you can ask. Though I don't encourage for self-learning course clearing doubts, but if you have some doubts quickly, 5-10 minutes, I can explain, no problem, after the class, right? So this is all about everything. So if you take GenAI and Spark, I think this is a bundle, and the same bundle people are selling in lakhs. If you look at the courses outside, it is same thing they will teach you by just adding some extra things like Tableau, Power BI for 2 months, Python for 6 months, SQL for 5 months, Excel for 2 months, which is not needed. I mean, do you think in a data science interview they will ask you Excel questions? No. It's not a data analyst interview, it is a data science. So they have a lot of important topics to ask. And nowadays, if you are applying for core data science, they will ask you machine learning, they will ask you deployment side, they'll ask you cloud questions, they will ask you questions from big data, they'll ask you questions from generative AI. So there are a lot of things to ask. Why somebody will ask you SQL question? They were asking before, but now I think the trend is changed, right? We have NLP to SQL. So we have GenAI application. You just write NLP like text, and it will generate the SQL code for you. Text to NLP, text to SQL conversion. So that's the reason I think these things will not be asked. In fact, Python will not be asked. Only in the coding test, they may give you some questions, but they will not judge you based on coding skill because they know coding is already automated. Rather, they will ask that nowadays interviews are based on problem solving skill rather than coding skill. Problem solving skills comes with experience, right? If you have done 5 projects, then you can give answers. If you have not done any project, obviously you cannot answer. So they will give either any of the project that you have done and will tell you to explain, or they will give their own situations, own topics, and will tell you to basically go through those, right? And give them solution. For example, They're hiring for sales forecasting project, and they will tell you, we have this, that very small amount of data, let's say 2 years data, and we want to predict for next 3 years. The challenge in this data is it's a very small data, very less amount of data, and how you will tackle it. So if you have never done such kind of project, you will not able to answer. But if you have done it, you will tell, okay, I will generate some synthetic data using this algorithm, and then I will solve the project in this way. First, I will do this, then I will do modeling, I will do validation using this technique. Then they will ask you question. So it is in this way. It is all project oriented interview. And this is, I am sharing not blah blah something. It is based on my own experience and my students' experience, and my friends' experience, right? Okay, I will just pause here. I think if you have any further doubt tomorrow, you can ask. But overall, this is what it is. It is equal weightage to ML and Ops both. It is not a DevOps course. It is not only a machine learning course. It's a combination of both. And this is a very powerful package. You really, and the problem with Ops is you have lot many options available in the market. For everything, you have bunch of tools, and you will be confused which one to learn and which one to skip. And whatever I have selected are the trending ones. You may find some alternate to everything, like instead of AWS, you can go for Azure, instead of MLflow, a lot of other tools. But whatever we have selected in this course are the most demanded ones. And these are the most trending ones. So there is a probability that most of the companies are looking for the same tools that we have learned, right? But for everything, you have different options. These are the best options. You can really skip DVC, Jenkins, you can skip Kubernetes and all that. I'm not saying that is not important, but being a data scientist, I think this is a complete flow. If I do this thing, I think my code is already automated. From here, the data engineering team will do the rest of the work. As a data scientist or ML engineer, I think this is, if I can do till here, I think I'm good. SageMaker also will allow you to maintain and monitor. Your code is tracked, maintained, monitored, automated. What else you need, right? Everything is done. Kubernetes is helpful if you have multiple Docker images. And honestly speaking, most of the time in data science, the architecture is that you have only one model. You don't have multiple models, like you don't have 5, 7, 10, 20 models. And for every model, you need to create a Docker image, and hence you need Kubernetes. No, I think what we do is we try in the model building step only. We try 10, 20, 30, 40 algorithm, and we select the best one. So every project will have only one model, not multiple models. Every project so far I have seen has only one model. But let's say you are working in a really complicated project where you have to build 8, 10 different models, different use cases. You may need Kubernetes in that place. But 90% of the time, even in fact 95% of the time, it is not needed. One Docker image, one model is sufficient to solve one project, right? Lifetime access means what? Lifetime access means this course content you will get like 1 year access, and after 1 year they will delete. And once it is removed, you can just ping me. I will add you to the recent folder. I'll give you permission to the recent folder, right? Whatever is the current batch. And in that way, you did not, you have not only got access again, but you got access to the recent content. And you can ping me anytime, right? Let's say after, no need to wait for 1 year also, after 2 months or 5 months or 10 months. If you just ping me, whatever new content has been added, the updated content, you will get access to. You can see I have done a lot of changes, right? Previous batches, I was teaching them Dash. In your batch, I'm teaching Streamlit. So for the previous batch, Streamlit is a new content. They have already learned Dash. They can learn Streamlit. So if somebody will message me, I can give them Streamlit folder access. Similarly, in the next batches, I don't know, I have to change some of the content maybe after 1 year or 6 months. So all the recent batch access you may get. But for that, I will not do it automatically. And I'll tell you why, because every 15 days we're starting new batches, and every batch we have 20-30 students. So in a year only, I have around 800-900 plus students, right? And it is very difficult to keep a track of all of this. I will not be able to update your folders until unless you ask for it. So if you ping me and share your email ID, I'll just copy your email and paste it in the recent folder. That's how it is lifetime access, right? And yeah, so doesn't matter you are my direct student or DurgaSoft student, you just need to ping me once and you will get access to the content. There is one more flexibility also, which I do not encourage, institute also do not encourage. But in worst case, I'm telling worst case, let's say some medical emergency, or because of some career issues, you have to move to some other place, some personal reason which is really unavoidable, and because of that you could not continue. uh, in that case, you have to send an email to us, keeping me in CC, your reason why you're not able to continue. And you will be allowed to repeat the same course in the next batch, right? Within 6 months, you can repeat the course. Not for everyone. I will not encourage because it is already crowded. So if I allow previous batch students also, it will be overcrowded. But having said that, some special request we can take. If you have some medical issues or something, you can repeat. Okay, so this is all about it. And so the goal of creating WhatsApp group is I'm going to merge all of the WhatsApp groups so far, like almost 10-15 groups I have. So I will merge everyone into one, and I will keep sharing job opportunities. It's not like I have giving you any job guarantee, nothing. I will just share the HR numbers and JDs, because many times I get a call for openings, and you can also I mean, if many of you are posting getting a job in data science domain, you can also help your colleagues. So it's a kind of referral kind of thing, we can help each other kind of thing, right? The second thing is, if anything exciting happening in AI, so I can share the news, kind of a newsletter, weekly ones or monthly ones. It's all for learning purpose and for helping each other. That's the reason of creating WhatsApp. And if you have any concern, let's say, obviously, if there is a batch of N, 90%, if they're happy, 10% will not be happy, and it's absolutely fine. That is how it is, right? Everybody will not be happy with what you are delivering. So some people always, they will have some concern. That is absolutely fine. Everyone comes from different background. Instead of spreading any negative things in the WhatsApp group, the better, productive, constructive approach is you ping me one-to-one, and I will solve your problem. So if you have any doubt, I will repeat. If you want to again repeat the concepts, I will help you. So whatever is needed, I will do that. But first, you need to inform me. Any concern, you can directly ping me and I will solve your questions, right? Okay, this is all about this. I think I will not talk about the content further. You got an idea, and I will just post the content here in this content folder. And any questions? We are all good? Okay, great. Others, is it clear? Like any questions? Kunal, Nipjyoti, Charit, Ashish, Amit.
No question.
Okay,
Yeah, no questions.
great. Okay, fine. So I think module 4 till module 4, you will find some theory. Like every module will have like, see, I'll tell you, module 1 is all practical. So it's hands-on. Module 2 is theory. Module 3 is theory, practical, algorithm, and then implementation, algorithm, implementation. But module 6 onwards, everything is hands-on, hands-on. In fact, module 5 onwards, we will just, there's no theory. 5, 6, 7, 8 is all practical, right? So I think a lot of you are waiting for the ops content. And the ops is very simple. We are going to learn CI/CD with GitHub Actions. We are going to learn tracking, registry, and reproducibility using ML flow. And for containerization, we are going to use Docker. And for cloud, we are going to use SageMaker. SageMaker is all in one. It's a champion tool. It can do everything with very simple manner. The problem is many of the people who are teaching MLOps, they think they know a lot of things because they are from DevOps background. So they teach you MLOps from a DevOps view, right? Because they themselves are not sure about ML project lifecycle. So they just think, okay, it's a product, that's a product. So I can do the operationalization in the same way, like how I am operationalizing any software. Same thing I can do in ML software. No, ML software is different than any other product software. Let's say you build a front end, it's not going to change tomorrow. ML project, today you have built something, tomorrow, let's say election result, BJP, let's say it won, but let's say it is not winning. So entire stock market will crash, let's say, or crashed already. And your stock price prediction project will, entire project, yesterday you built it, tomorrow it will not be working. Again, you need to do everything. You need to rerun. It's very volatile, very volatile. Depends a lot of time, not only in maths, but also with the external environment, what is happening surroundings, right? It needs even more continuous monitoring, right? Every day you need to check, every moment, anytime it is going down, you have to correct it. And not only correct, you need to explain to your client why it is not working, because they have paid for the model, right? And you cannot do it manually. If you start doing it, you will be stuck in one project for your lifetime. That needs to be automated. So monitoring also needs to be automated. Anytime the model is not working, automatically it will tell you why the model is not working. Maybe I can yeah, so this is what it is. So it is little more complex than what you really think. You need to learn ML. Also, you need to learn um, continuous development. Means something, let's say you found the customer behavior is completely changed. Now, let's say MacBook people are buying, but what happened is, let's say Microsoft released some laptop which is very good than MacBook. You will see the sales is completely dropping. And it is not because of the algorithm, because the data is changed completely. The data that in which you have trained the model, the input data itself is completely changed. Hence the output, that is the prediction, is also changed. Again, you cannot write the code from scratch. If you have ops in place, within fraction of seconds or within hours, you can regenerate the output. So MLOps is completely different than DevOps. A person who is very efficient in ML can only teach you ops, because ops is not a difficult topic to learn. Honestly, you can learn, I can learn, anybody can learn ops. It's just a tool based learning. ML needs experience. If you have not worked in real time projects, you will not understand the challenges. It's not about only coding, it's about understanding the challenges. If you are not a real time professional who has built a lot of ML application, you will not be able to understand what is the pinpoint or what is the pain point of ML models, why these models will mostly fail in real time. And if you don't know that, how you will write your code accordingly, right? So telling DevOps and MLOps are same is a blunder. DevOps is DevOps, MLOps is MLOps. There are certain things which are common like Docker, CI, CD and all that. But having said that, a lot of things are different. You will not learn SageMaker there, but here it is a very important tool. SageMaker is meant for ML application. It is not meant for softwares. It is only for ML software monitoring and deployment, right? So the track is different, and this is more than sufficient. Don't learn jargons, don't learn everything. So nobody will ask you those questions. With this, you can clear any interview. And you don't trust me, go to any of the machine learning engineer post in your basically LinkedIn or Naukri and try to match with this content. 80% it will match, 70 to 80% it will match. Whatever they're asking, you will find it is present here. Okay. So I think let's connect tomorrow. We will continue from here, right? Thank you, everyone.